Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. It's Wednesday today, middle of the week already. Welcome to episode 2 of Stamping A to Z. I have started this series to help people get through this humongous catalog of ours. I hear a lot that people don't know what things are, or they don't know where to start, or just even experienced crafters. There's always new things. And so it's nice to kind of get the lay of the land and see what all's in here and how to use it. So I thought I would start this series and kind of walk you through. So today, being our B day, we're going to look at bundles, blends, and blender pens. So first I'm going to start, actually, you know what, before I start going full speed here, I'm just going to turn on so that I can see if there are any comments going on. Oh, and I see that I'm upside down. So let me try and fix that without making you too dizzy. A sec here. Let's see. I thought I had this set, but maybe not. All right. Now we're the right side up. Okay, let's try that again. All right, so I'm going to start by explaining what bundles are. So Stampin' Up! Has two different kinds of bundles. Ones are the die bundles, which are on page 173 of the annual catalog. And the other type of bundle is the punch bundles, and that's on 169. So the punch bundles, I'm going to show you, looks like there's always a stamp set. This is from our Christmas catalog. And then there's usually one punch, as you can see, sometimes two. So this one, this Christmas Gleaming set, has two punches, the ornaments, and then it has the matching stamp set. And so whenever there's a matching stamp set, there are stamps in here that can be punched by the punches, making it easy to instead of fussy cutting, which I'm not a person to like to fussy cut. So that's the punches. And then if we go, so I'm just going to show you also in the mini catalog, our bundles are all laid out as well on page 172, 173. I think it even goes past that. But here's the Christmas Gleaming bundle. And then, so back to the main one, we have our die bundles. And you can see there's many bundles. I'm just going to show you for an example. This Nothing's Better Than. I love this set. So there's the stamp set again. And then I have started cutting out the dies on cardstock so that I can see what's in my die package, and that way I have a quicker view as to what I can do. So the actual dies look like this, but as you can see, you can cut out the words, but it also has the cutout for the cookie, for the cocktail, for the chocolate, and the coffee. And they're two-step stamping, so you can do the two sets. So that's what bundles are all about. There's always a stamp set, and then a die, or a stamp set, and then a punch. And so here's some examples from that set. So those are bundles. I hope that clarifies what they are. Now we are going to move on. We will still be using bundles as I go through, but now I'm going to show you the blender pens and blends. So I'm going to start with the blender pens. These are great. Actually, I'll move this out of the way. They come in a pack of 3, so they would come with 3. They're dual tipped, so you can use either side with a special solution inside. They last forever and ever. I've had some of these for over 10 years, and they're still going. So what they are, they can pick up any color. So if you're limited in your Ohio, I just saw you. If you're limited in your color selection, they're great because they can act as a marker, or you can watercolor with them. So it just gives you access to more colors if you're limited in your stamp pads. I've muted everything except for my phone. Anyways, so let's start with the blenders. So the one tip I'm going to give you with the blender pens is they are kind of like watercoloring. So you want they absorb a little bit more than like a marker. So you want to use either, I don't know if you can see it in the video, you want to use the shimmer paper, and you want to use either StazOn ink or archival ink so that it doesn't bleed. You can use the Memento. It just might bleed a little if you're coloring over the lines. But the shimmer paper is just a little bit more forgiving than the Whisper White paper. So I'll just show you by coloring this tree and this raccoon. They are from the Freezing Friends or Freezing Fun set. So again, you've got the Freezing Fun stamp set. Hi-yo. And then the Freezing Fun dies. Super fun set. I saw this and I had to have it because we love to ski and snowboard and play in the snow. So this is a good set for us. Anyway, so with the blender pen, all you have to do is squeeze. You can use your ink pads and use the lid. Oh my, something happened to my ink. Or you can use, where's my Just Jade? You can use the ink refills if you have them, and you can just put a drop on a clear block and then pick up the ink that way. So whatever you have access to, you can use. So you would just make sure that there's no ink left on the end of your pen. Then you'll go in and you'll pick up the ink. And then if you want to see how dark it's going to be, and then you would just kind of come in and color it in. As you would with any marker, and you can go as dark, you can use it as a marker and just make sure you fill it evenly. You can have it more shadowed, but again, like the more you want to layer your colors and kind of have that highlight on there, you want to make sure you have either the shimmer paper or the watercolor paper so that you don't start tearing the paper. So I've kind of been a little bit messy in my coloring, but that's okay, you get the idea. And then for the raccoon, I'll just go. So, oops, I guess I need to squeeze it. And then lots of red. So then again, you could either, you could, if you're really worried about, like your tips will stay colored at some point. So if you want to have a designated tip color for each color, you can, but you just want to make sure you color until all the color's off, and then I can switch to red. And then again, the same thing. Come in here and color his little scarf. I have seen people do amazing things with these pens who are great watercolor artists. I am not an artist, so I don't use these as much, but I definitely used them a ton when I was first starting and I didn't have a lot of colors in my collection. So again, you come in here, and the tips on either side are the same, just you can use either end. So you get the idea. I just wanted, I'm going to do this same set with the blender pens, and then we can kind of compare, but it's more the tree we're going to compare. So, and it could just be my technique. I find it harder to really get a smooth blend with the blender pen as much as the blends, but the blends are just amazing markers, but not everybody has all of the blends. So that is the blender pen. Now, if we move on to blends, which are these, they come in a pack. I shouldn't lie to you. I think now you used to be able to order them in light or dark, and now I think they come only in packs of 2s. They can be found on page 142 within the colors. If you look at the bottom, it has your stamping blends. Yeah, so they're in combo packs now. So it comes in a 2-pack. So it comes with the light and dark, and they don't come in every single color, but they come in most. They're $12 each. So like this is the light balmy blue and the dark balmy blue. I don't know if you can see. You can kind of see some of them. It's hard to tell with just the tips, but, and then this is just jade. You can see a little better, light and dark. So that's those ones. So with the blends, unlike the blender pen, you're going to use the Memento ink to color with them, and that way it doesn't bleed, because the blends are alcohol based and the Memento is water based, so then they don't mix with one another. And I had pre-stamped the other ones with the StazOn ink. We'll do some coloring there. So I just want to show you, I pre-cut these for my card that I'm going to show you later, but if you look at the dies cut out exactly your image, so you don't have to fussy cut around them, and you can pop up everything. And this one has a nice curve, so you can make a nice snow curve to it. So it doesn't always only have cutouts for the stamps. It also has other pieces like the stars and a heart. And here's the snow. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so we'll do the tree again like we did with the blender pen. I'm going to use the exact same color. So I used the Just Jade stamp pad with the blender pen on the, where did my tree go now? Lost my tree. Okay, so that's the blender pen. And now we're going to use the blends. And I also have seen you can do it so that there's, like you want the shadow with the darker pen. And then you would come in and blend it in with your lighter one. The more layers you have, the more blend, the wetter the paper, I guess. So right now you can't really see it, so you might want to go in again with your darker one, and the wetter it is, it'll kind of, it takes a little bit of time, but it will start to bleed down into one another, and you can just keep blending if you really want to. Now the other thing I've seen is where you can kind of do a highlight where, which one's like this one's like, it's kind of more the cartoon look, which is good for this set. And you would just come in and you would leave some white as you go. Again, you can do some highlighting. And then you can take this one white one, it's a color lifter. So if you kind of want to blend, it's not instant, or if you make a mistake, you can go over it. I'll try going here and make a, so as you can, I don't know if you can see that, but it does lift the color. So say I had gone really out of the edge, I could keep going over and over until it was kind of where I wanted it. So that just kind of blends. And then you kind of get, it's hard to tell because I didn't do it on the top piece, but it kind of gives you that, it's kind of like when you have that little white spot on a balloon, it just makes it kind of pop a little. So same thing with the penguin. I've got, I think it's Smoky Slate. So what I tend to do is I like to do the light color because it just kind of puts a nice wet coat down. And then I'll go in with my dark. And oh, I forgot to tell you, the blends have a brush end. As you can see, it's got a thick and a thin. So then you have more control with the thin. The brush end is softer and more bendable, whereas the lighter one is, or the thinner one, sorry, is harder. It's more like a pen. So you have more control when you're trying to get into smaller areas. So you don't need to watch me color the whole day, so you get the idea. Those are the blends. Again, a little bit of, this one's really deceiving. This is actually pumpkin pie. The ends look more pink. So I just, if you can see, this is the blends, blender pen, and this is the blends. So the blends are really nice and smooth, really fun to color with. The blender pen gives you kind of a more watercolored look, but it also allows you to use many more colors without putting a lot of money into a bunch of markers. So this is the card that I made with it. This is designer series paper in the background that I used. So much fun. And just so you know, the designer series paper is on sale right now till the end of October. They are specific ones, but they're 15% off. So there's a bunch of Christmas ones. There's some out of the annual catalog as well that are on sale. So if you need designer series paper, make sure you look at those. The sun is bleaching. Oh, maybe I'll close my blind. All right, hopefully that helps. Is that better? Anyways, hopefully you can see that. That is the blend. So the next thing I wanted to go through, I wanted to show you, so I showed you what you could do with the blender pens, but the blends have so many things you can do with them. You can do what we just did was just coloring. The next thing we can do, let me just make sure I don't forget. Sorry. So we did the highlights and the shadows. You can also just blend different colors. So for that, oh, I thought I had stamped one. I will stamp one right now. I'm losing all my stuff. Okay, so this is Rococo Rose. And then I'm going to take, where did I want to mix up my colors here. Okay, so I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo and Rococo Rose. So I'll just give, this is the light one. I'm just going to go around. So you don't always have to be blending the same colors. You can blend 2 different colors. I'm just going to go, this is the dark Flirty Flamingo, and then I'm going back to the light to try and pull it in and blend it, and then I'm going to do the Rococo Rose. I'm going to go back in with the Flirty Flamingo to pull it through. So now you've kind of got, I didn't really, this is the dark. I don't love how here it's not. There we go, that's a bit better. Okay, and of course we need to have a different color because it's usually metal. And then, staying in the same theme as bundles, I can show you how, uh-oh, I should have punched it lower. Scissors, scissors, scissors. So, if I want to punch, it fits perfectly in the punch. And you can just punch out your ornament. The other thing you can do with the blends is you can color embellishments. So, oops, wrong end. You can actually take rhinestones. Oh, this is dark seaside spray. That's not the one. Let's use a darker one. You can do it light, it just is harder to see in the video. And it actually dries and stays, which is really nice. So you can turn any embellishment. There's these ones, there's some rounded drops. If you look quickly at the, so there's you can color pearls, you can color the epoxy droplets, and then you can have any color to match your project. So this is the finished card. So it has the punched out ornament and then the colored rhinestones with the blue. And I just used this gold foil is from the, I think it's from the Forever Greenery. There's a gold foil that goes with it. So that's that one. And then another thing you can do with blends is you can color vellum. Oops. So this is one of the holiday vellums that goes with the, what do you call it? What's the flower? Oh my gosh. I'm going to color ribbon also. You're just ahead of, I'm doing it next, right away. So the vellum, I'll just show you quick. It's amazing. Like something like this, you would just go and color the back, and It dries pretty quick because it's the alcohol base. But if you're putting it onto, say, a white cardstock, it comes up. And then I don't know, again, if you can see that, but it's beautiful. As it is, quick and easy. So to match any of your projects, again, there's also specialty vellums like these doilies. I love these doilies. You can color them. So I would just, again, oops, wrong end again. I'm going to use the brush end. It's much easier. And you would just color the whole thing. And again, you'd just in case it bleeds, you'd use this side, but here you've got your colored vellum. So here's another example. I colored the vellum, and then this is the gnome for the holidays. It's not a bundle, but I just think it's so cute. I had to do one of these. So this is all colored with the blends, and then I colored the vellum. And then I don't have a card sample with one, excuse me, right now, but I will show you. Let's do the Rococo Rose. So you could take any of our white ribbon, and again, it dries really fast, and you just come in. You can dye the ribbon with our ink refills, but then again, you have to let it dry and it's sopping wet. So this, if you want to just do a quick something and have pink ribbon, oh look, now I have pink ribbon. So white to pink. And again, with having the light and the dark, you could go a little bit lighter, you could go a little bit darker, depending on what your project is. Poinsettia, yes, that's what I was looking for. Okay, one more. I mean, there's tons of stuff you can do with blends. It's just sky's the limits. But there's one more, and I kind of showed it on my catalog launch, but I'm gonna show it again because I love it so much. You can take some vellum. So again, vellum, loving the vellum. And then I'm gonna take Flirty Flamingo. And you want to do one color at a time. It doesn't matter dark to light. That part doesn't matter, but you do want to make sure you do one color, dry it, and then do another color. So I'm just going to come in and scribble. Oops, with this one's dark Flirty Flamingo. And then I'm going to take alcohol with a dropper. I took an old medicine bottle, and then you're just going to drop the alcohol on top, and then you're gonna make sure you have a heat gun close by. Just like I said, you want to make sure that you dry it in between. Just do Misty Moonlight. Maybe that will, actually, let's do Seaside. So here you can see I didn't quite put enough. I'd probably want to do more alcohol, but just for demonstration purposes, we'll pretend that it did it all. Like my... Yes, I have always wondered if I'm going to set something on fire, but it's never, I don't know if there's enough. I've never had any issues. Cross my fingers here, knock on wood. I have wondered if I was going to set something on fire. I guess mental note, you don't want to let your kids do this on their own just in case. Or maybe have a fire extinguisher. So anyways, you end up with this really cool background. So here's my card with the background. Same colors, Flirty Flamingo and Seaside Spray. And this is an old, there's new words in the new holiday catalog. I just don't have them yet. They're on my list. There's Joy, but this is from an old one. The piece, and I used from what we did last week, the new adhesive, the foam backing, and I cut it out on there. So it makes for really interesting backgrounds. I love it. So that is just one more thing you can do. Other than that, I think that is all I have for you today. Next week is going to be episode 3. So we're into the C's. We're going to look at cardstock, color collections, clear blocks, and the brand new beautiful cut and emboss machine. I have been playing with it. It is so nice to use, and it's pretty, and it's compact, and I can't wait till the mini comes out, but we will be playing with that one. I will be posting pictures of all the projects later today with links so that you can find the items in my store. Anyways, that is all for today. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Talk to you later. Bye, Yolande. Thanks for watching.